Lots of our users are looking forward to see the film, and I saw it yesterday. It was fascinating.
Great.
And I think it is the most coolest Marvel film I have ever seen.
That's great. I love that. That's what we want to hear. I love that. Yeah, I love it too. It's a lot of fun.
So we have prepared several questions for you.
Sure.
I'm your Twitter fans, and your tweets always get me. Some of them are very hilarious, some of them are a little bit sarcastic.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Deadpool.
Yeah.
And is there any resemblance or differences between you and Deadpool?
No, I think that's why for 11 years I've wanted to play the character so badly and play the character properly, and that's why it took so long. But no, if you ask my wife, sometimes she'll say, I can't tell if it's Deadpool talking or Ryan talking right now. So yeah, there's a bit of that. It's always been like that for me, though. I think that's why I fell in love with the character early on. The character also fell in love with me. I mean, in the comics, he talks about Ryan Reynolds, and so it's been a love affair on both sides for many years. Yeah.
In this film, Deadpool talks in a very unique way.
Yeah.
Did you practice for it?
I didn't need to really. I mean, the movie had been so long in the making, and I spent 6 years working and developing the character and the script with my two friends who wrote the movie as well. And we just honed it and played with it, and by the time we got to the point where we were shooting the film, it was just so easy. I mean, I knew all of my lines, obviously, but I also knew all of Vanessa's lines and all of Weasel's lines and all of Blind Al's lines, and we shaped this thing together for so long that it was just sort of, that was the easy part. Yeah.
And what is your favorite line in this film?
My favorite line in the movie? Oh God, I don't know. That's tough. There's a scene where I go to the X Mansion and I'm trying to get the X-Men to come with me and to go save my girl. And I say something about how the studio couldn't afford any other X-Men, and that I love that line. I don't know. That was just like I just did it in one take just as a joke, and it ended up staying in the movie, so I like that one.
So we know you have spent 10 years waiting for the movie to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Why does this character attract you so much?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've always loved him. I mean, I since the moment I first read those words 11 years ago, and I just like the fact that he's a character who's obviously he's very funny, and obviously he's very violent, and obviously he has all of these characteristics that would make a large amount of people want to go to the movie theater and watch this guy. But underneath all that, he filters his pain is filtered through comedy, and I love that. I love that there actually is real pain under there, and that's what grounds the character, and I think that's what makes the character relatable, not just to the audience, but for me too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Last week there was a piece of news that Ryan Reynolds stole his Deadpool costume from the set.
Yes.
Can you tell us where is it now?
The Deadpool costume is in my house on a mannequin. And it scares my dogs every time they go down there. But yeah, I have the suit. I left with it. I waited so long to do the movie, and if anyone wanted to try to take that suit from me, they could come try to take it physically. I just was leaving with it, so that was it. And nobody seemed to have a problem with that, so.
And the costume is so tight. Did you put any effort into making it look better with your shape?
Oh yeah, we worked on the costume forever too. I mean, that was another thing that so many things happen so quickly when the studio said make your movie, but it comes out in February. And at this point, that gave us less than a year to shoot it, edit it, develop it, create a costume. It's very hard. So yeah, we worked on that. When the suit was finally finished, I cried. I actually cried when I looked at the suit because it was so perfect.
You cried.
Yeah, well, it looked. It was one of the only times I've ever seen a comic book character look like he was ripped right out of the pages of the comic book. I mean, the suit was perfect, and I loved it, and it makes the movie. So.
Does it cause any inconvenience, for example, like when you need to go to the men's room, something like that?
Oh, that's the worst. That's a very difficult thing. That suit takes 20 minutes to go to the bathroom. It's very hard to get that off. Yeah.
And how did you react when you saw the scary makeup at first time?
Oh, I loved it. I love all that stuff. So the guy who developed it is named Bill Corso, and he's a genius. He's won lots of Oscars, and he's a very, very talented makeup artist. So I loved it. That makeup is key to the whole movie. So that had to be great and had to look good and had to be convincing. And you had to still be able to see me under there, but you know, and still feel for the guy, but it still had to be ugly. So it was great.
Is any funny story happened when you wore it?
Well, my daughter would cry. Every time she saw me, she would cry. And that was awful. I hated it because she would hear my voice and know it was me, but she just thought something terrible happened to me. She's only one, but yeah, so that was pretty up. And it was interesting just walking down. We shot the movie in Vancouver, which is where I'm from. I grew up there, and I would walk around the streets when we were shooting, and I would sometimes walk around the block, and nobody would look at you in the eye. They'd look at you and they look down right away. And I thought I loved that. It was really interesting to see what it might be like to have a face like that and to move through the world like that. And people don't make eye contact with you at all. They look down. They want you to know that they're not looking, and that's even worse than looking. You know, like just look. It's okay. You know, so it was interesting to do that.
So, last question. Can you say something to your fans in Korea?
Oh, Korea. I'm so excited for you to see Deadpool and for me to unleash this character into your beautiful country. And I hope to visit Korea someday. I've always wanted to go there. It's I hear it's so beautiful, and I know you'll love Deadpool. I know Deadpool will love you as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right. Take care. Thanks.